Behind the glamorous spotlight of a star adored across Asia lies a haunting experience that Kim Tae Hee rarely speaks of. A traumatic incident in South Africa not only left emotional scars but may also explain her quiet withdrawal from the entertainment world and shift toward a more guarded, private life. A business trip that turned into a nightmare. On March 7, during the entertainment show Breakfast Worth $10 Billion, celebrity makeup artist Jung Saem Mool stunned viewers with a story she had never shared publicly before: the time she and actress Kim Tae Hee faced an armed robbery while working in South Africa. They had traveled there for a photo shoot, staying in a district known for its Korean community, a location they believed would be safe. While we were working, a group of armed robbers broke in. They pointed guns at everyone and demanded our valuables, Jung recalled. We were pushed into a bathroom and locked in. I lost nearly 20 million won. Thankfully, no one was physically hurt. Though no lives were lost, the emotional toll was immense. Jung recalled that a local African woman in the group tried to comfort her with a silent, reassuring gaze, a moment that moved her deeply and later inspired her to become active in charitable work for African children. Kim Tae Hee, shaken by the incident, quickly wrapped up the shoot and returned to South Korea earlier than planned. Since then, she has largely avoided long overseas trips, particularly to developing countries, opting instead for safer and more predictable environments. When a star chooses to step away, once a ubiquitous face on screen and in high-end endorsements, Kim Tae Hee has become noticeably absent from the spotlight in recent years. Her last significant television role was in Lies Hidden in My Garden, 2023, and she has only taken guest roles since, such as in Welcome to Sandalri. Her stated reason is prioritizing family life. But beneath that explanation lies a more nuanced reality. After surviving a life-threatening ordeal abroad and enduring the constant pressure of public scrutiny, Kim Tae Hee may have decided that a quiet life offers more peace than any spotlight ever could. She has consciously chosen to regain control of her surroundings, her safety, and her personal narrative. This intention is reflected in her and husband Rain's decision to purchase a $2 million home in Irvine, California, an affluent area known for its high Asian population, excellent schools, and strong security. Though she stated she has no plans to pursue a Hollywood career, the home serves a personal purpose, ensuring a safe, stable environment. Especially as the couple had already planned to send their daughter to school in the US since she was under 2 years old. Fame as a double-edged sword. Once hailed as Korea's national treasure of beauty, Kim Tae Hee enjoyed an enviable status in the industry. But in South Korea's fame-obsessed culture, public figures walk a fine line, and in 2023, that line blurred when Kim Tae Hee was implicated in a tax evasion controversy. She, along with A-listers Lee Byung-hun and Kwon Sang-woo, was investigated for underpaying hundreds of millions of won in taxes. Kim Tae Hee later made an additional payment of around 100 million won, but the public was unforgiving. Despite her agency's explanation that a delay in advertisement payments led to the miscalculation, many believed she was intentionally evading taxes. Worse still, she had already been accused in 2020 of using a shell company to purchase real estate under a favorable tax scheme. For many fans, this eroded the polished image of their beloved star. The backlash was swift, and calls to boycott the couple, Kim Tae Hee and Rain, gained traction online. Her once immaculate reputation was no longer unassailable. The cost of stardom. From an armed robbery to a reputation scandal, Kim Tae Hee's journey hasn't been as flawless as her public image might suggest. Fame, for her, came at a heavy cost, not just in money, but in freedom, trust, and psychological safety. Professor Kim Hee-young, a cultural studies expert from Yonsei University, once remarked, "Fame in South Korea is a double-edged sword. It elevates you, but also demands perfection, both in the light and in the shadows." For Kim Tae Hee, these experiences may have driven her away from ambition and toward self-preservation. Conclusion. Once worshipped by millions for her beauty and poise, Kim Tae Hee now lives quietly in a world of her own making. Behind her retreat lies a series of wounds, a gun pointed at her during the robbery, headlines accusing her of tax fraud, and the invisible weight of being a wife to one of Korea's biggest stars. She may no longer appear on screen regularly, but her deliberate withdrawal in a fame-hungry world makes her story all the more compelling. Because sometimes, courage is not about staying in the spotlight, it's about stepping away from it to protect what truly matters: peace, family, and safety. When we think of Kim Tae Hee, the image that likely comes to mind is one of serene beauty, elegance, and a near-perfect public persona. But behind that polished exterior lies a horrifying memory that even the most seasoned stars would struggle to forget, a traumatic moment that unfolded in South Africa, far away from the flashing cameras and red carpets. Recently, renowned celebrity makeup artist Jung Saem Mool unveiled a shocking story on the TV show Breakfast worth 10 billion. It involved a harrowing incident she shared with Kim Tae Hee during a work trip to South Africa. While many have admired the actress for her poise and grace, few knew that she had once stared down the barrel of a gun, quite literally. A glamorous shoot turns into a nightmare. Kim Tae Hee and her team had flown to South Africa for a photo shoot, choosing to stay in a district populated by many Korean expatriates, assuming it would be safe. But their confidence was shattered in an instant. In the middle of our shoot, a group of armed robbers broke in, Jung Saem Mool recounted. They were black men with guns. They stormed in, pointing weapons at everyone. There was panic, fear, pure chaos. The robbers confiscated all valuables, including expensive equipment and personal belongings. Jung herself lost nearly 20 million won worth of possessions. The team was then herded into a bathroom and locked inside, left to process their fear in the claustrophobic silence while the criminals made their escape. Dozens of us were pushed into that bathroom. We didn't know if they would come back. We just stayed still, hoping to survive, Jung added. A young local woman looked at me with calm eyes, like she was silently telling me it would be okay. I never forgot that moment. Fortunately, no one was physically harmed. But emotionally, the scars ran deep. A turning point in Kim Tae Hee's life. Though Kim Tae Hee rarely speaks publicly about the incident, those close to her say it deeply affected her. She cut the trip short and returned to Korea almost immediately. After that, her willingness to travel for overseas work visibly decreased, particularly to areas perceived as unstable or high risk. What makes this revelation even more significant is how little the public knew about it. In a celebrity culture that often thrives on drama, it is telling that Kim Tae Hee chose to keep this story private for so long. It reveals not only her strength in coping but also a more vulnerable, human side of a star often seen as untouchable. It may also explain, in part, her gradual retreat from acting. Since 2023's Lies Hidden in My Garden, she has taken on fewer projects, choosing family life and privacy over the spotlight. Her brief guest appearance in Welcome to Sandalri was a rare exception.